shit talking me the whole time. So I'm like,
Yeah, it really put a target on his back for him to do something like that.
yeah. And I called it out right away, and I think he was like, shit. I literally, as we were celebrating, I'm like, Kiefer shit talking me, and he was like,
Bro, you got like you flexing you. I didn't know you had it. I was like, well, what? When I saw you clap back, I was like, oh, you got some clap backers in here, more than I thought.
I mean, my like only fear is I just want to be like obviously safe going forward, and like
You?
yeah, and like I obviously feel good with like the me, you, Beth, Jed, like, and I don't think anyone has caught on to that at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Jed yesterday was like, oh, I was a little worried for a second. I'm like, what are you worried about?
Who was?
Jed. I'm
About
like,
himself?
yeah, I'm like, what are you worried about?
No, I know.
I'm like, for us to work, we need to like trust each other 100%.
You know what he was worried about? I just gave him a scenario. Because I was like, hey, think about this though, Jed. I'm like, if Julie had stayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say Julie had stayed, and then you still won, right? That would put you in a situation where you'd have to put up somebody that's, because you were good with Julie, right? You were good with Julie.
The thing is, everyone thought that I was like tight with Julie. We talked for the first day. Never made any alliance with her other than the one that we were in with the 6 of us. That was literally my only one. And I didn't talk to her again. We got ready across from each other, and that was it. Because I didn't trust her.
Oh, really?
I didn't trust her. I was like, I don't know, like, because for me, I'm like, okay, she's someone who, like, wants to, like, play the game. Like, she's a fan. And, like, she's like, remember with the second of the 6, she's like, oh, then we have the numbers to, like, flip the vote, stir the pot. Hi. Thank you. And I was like, I don't want to be with, like, associate with that, because I always thought that I was, like, the odd man out of, like, a group with, like, her and Brayden. So I'm like, what if she flips on me? She's like, here's my big move. I go against my friend. Because she told me, she was asked, like, what's your worst, like, who do you not want to see in the house? And she said, my twin. And she's like, and then look, I see you. And I'm like, I literally in my head, I was like, fuck, I don't want, like, you know? Because, like, I don't know, maybe she's, like, how iconic if I just, like, flip on this girl and, like, da-da-da, because I could see her thinking going that way.
Yeah.
That's why I was so happy when, like, you and Jed and, like, Beth were all like, yeah, let's do this. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be in that.
No, I agree. Because, like, that's what I was potentially worried about, too. Like, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, my God. So Austin was really close to Julie. That could jeopardize Jed, potentially. Because think about a scenario where you put up Keith and Ro. Say you did. And then one of them wouldn't be, who else could you put if you were tight with Julie and Brayden? Besides Jed.
Yeah.
And I never want to see any of you guys on the block. I don't want to see you, Beth, or Jed on the block.
Well, especially, too, because, like, if I'm tight with, like, you and Jed, especially, you guys are, like, the 2 big, strong guys. So if you're on the block, it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the house
I don't
like,
want
at
that.
any moment be like, oh,
Like, this is our chance.
Yeah, it's our chance to get rid of them.
And I don't want to do that.
And
like,
Josh already planted that stupid pretty voice in their mind, in people's minds. So it's like,
no, like, for me, if I'm with people, I want to be, like, loyal to it. Because I'm like, I don't want us to be, like, unsure of each other. Because that fucks it up.
Exactly.
And I told Jed, too, that, like, I told him earlier that I wasn't, like, I liked Julie as a person, and, like, that hurt me personally in terms of just, like, morally it sucked. But game-wise, I'm like, this is kind of probably best case scenario.
It was. It just was. Like, you in the house has just a sense of calm. You know?
Are you tight with Kiefer?
I wouldn't say I'm super tight with him.
Because my worry with Kiefer is that he's also a fan, so I wouldn't want him to be like, oh, let me go after Austin just because, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because he's telling me that right now he wouldn't, and he would understand, and, like, everyone wants Josh out, but I just don't want to take that risk. Get a little fluff from my bed.
Oh, because you put him on the block?
Yeah. Like, I just don't want to become that target, you know what I mean?
So you think you'd rather get up Kiefer than Josh?
That's not, like, and I don't even have, like, I don't know. It makes sense. I didn't think Kiefer liked me for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Like, he's, like, didn't seem to vibe with me. So, like, I don't know if he likes me, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, what I know is, like, him being on the block this week, he completely understands it. And I don't think, from the conversations I heard people had with him, I don't think it was, like, anything he would take personal just because it was, like, he made that bend for himself. Because even I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Because when you were, like, killing that challenge, I was shutting everybody the fuck up on the bench. So I'm like, yo, you guys shut up. Like, I know you guys are trying to cheer for Latoya, for example, but, like, Austin's right here.
Literally.
So cheering that you're doing.
I'm hearing
affects
everything.
Austin more than it affects Latoya.
Yeah, I could literally hear people say like itch their arm.
And that's what I was saying. So I was like, because even like Tara was like, Austin, this. I'm like, chill. Everybody just chill. Just watch.
Literally.
They're killing us. Let them do their thing.
Literally.
But like, looking at that comp, it's like he made that bed for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just looked like he was even coming at me. He's like, "Oh, just on your arms, not straight, this and that." Like, I know he gets really competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like that competitive. Like I get it because like I play basketball. Like you want to shit talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're not in that environment anymore. Like,
Exactly.
It's just a completely different vibe.
Exactly.
So it's like he made that mistake for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any clapback from that? I don't think so. But like, who knows?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Because I'm thinking like I put